Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Tidal Wave with Jerome from Birmingham. Hope everybody had a good afternoon, good day, good morning. Just want to come on and get a poll reaction, and Bama moving on with from the Tua injury. I know you can't really just move on from it, but trying to just get behind Mac Jones and see can we get this team motivated and you know, kind of the same old talk. Everybody saying the same thing, kind of get this team, get behind Mac Jones and everybody, just play motivated and hopefully they can kind of, pull a rabbit out the hat, Polls come out tonight and kind of the same thing, what I expected, Um, you know, bottom line is, Alabama still in number 5 and still in a good spot. Georgia, LSU got to play each other, so it's going to kind of pan out. I don't see Ohio State, Clemson losing. They're not going to lose in the conference nor in the conference championship game. I think Ohio State may stand a better chance of losing than Clemson does. You can say whoever they play, Michigan, Minnesota, whoever it may be. Either one of those teams. I don't see them beating Ohio State, but for the most part, it's going to come down for Alabama. The ACC championship game is going to come down to can LSU beat Georgia? LSU beat Georgia, we good to go. LSU lose that ball game, it's a wrap for us, and I see there's a lot of push to get Oregon and Utah up there. Oregon, I don't see Oregon. Even though if they win the Pac-12, if they want to give it to the conference champs, okay. If they really push that narrative, then we in trouble. I can see them, putting Oregon or Utah, if that's the case in there. I can see them trying to get a push, especially over the last few years. They probably want to see something different. But I just think Alabama, and a matchup with Ohio State will be a lot better than a Ohio State, Oregon, or Ohio State, Utah matchup. Like I said, I think Mac Jones is capable. He just need to kind of get the rep, get the chemistry down with these guys and the receivers, and kind of just play loose. Don't play scared, He got to get out there and make the throws and get the ball to these athletes, man. You got enough athletes, around you to win a big game, on the road to Auburn. With Auburn, I don't really see Auburn being a threat, I really haven't heard much people saying much about Auburn beat us the last time, man. Please, that was a different team, different scenarios. I don't really care about that. Let's move on from that. But it's a part of football. But I think right now Alabama sitting at 5. In pretty good shape. I just think your top 5 team is going to be your top 5 teams, possibly 6. Is where your conference, man, your national championship is going to come out of, or basically it's going to get to your Final Four. I don't see Utah, like I said, I don't see Oregon. I think Utah is finishing up against UCLA, Arizona. I want to say Colorado. So I don't think their strength of schedule is no different or no better than Alabama's. We always get criticized about who we play and cupcake schedule, but they don't talk about the Utahs and the Oregons and the Ohio States, Oklahoma. They don't talk about those guys' schedules like they do the Alabamas, the Clemson, the LSUs. And the reason for that, it's an attention getter. You talk about the Alabama schedule. Everybody in the country want to jump on board and take a shot at it, but you can't even bring up the Utah schedule. Don't nobody care. Nobody want to talk about it. Who cares about it? But one thing about it is, we as Alabama fans, right now we heartbroken, with the Tua situation, and you just got to feel for him. And like I said, I hope he get back and can get back to playing football. It's gonna be a big decision for him. When he do come back, is he gonna come back to Bama? Is he gonna go to the NFL? I think he should go on to the NFL. Go ahead on to the NFL. Nothing else left at Bama. You can prove. We know you can. We know you was the best, one of the best. We know what you brought to the table. Go on, make that money as much as you can. Before you before you have to end your career, because it's a possibility that was a big blow. Right now you don't know if he's gonna come back, but I say he come back too. It's just one of those guys, and you know he just brings a different element to the game. His work ethic, he's smart, his drive, motivated. You know he'll be back. I'm not worried about Tua. The thing is he coming back to Alabama? Is he going to the NFL? So the thing is, I wish he had gone to the NFL. You know, and that's the biggest thing. Just going to the NFL, make that money, because right now it's all about, like I said, it's all about the LSU, it's all about Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, and Alabama right now. Alabama on the outside looking in. You know, hey, we on the outside looking in, and for the most part, it's gonna take a loss for us to get in. It's one of the rare years where we don't control our own destiny. One of these years we gotta pull for LSU, pull for LSU to win the SEC championship game, and that's our only shot right now. Because like I said, I don't see Ohio State, I don't see Clemson losing. I just don't see nobody right now capable on those guys' schedule nowhere down the road outside of the playoffs able to beat those guys. I just don't see it. They can tell us, um, Oregon. I know a lot. Oregon getting a lot of talk. I'm quite sure Oklahoma possibly pretty soon. Start getting a lot of pub, especially with Jalen making that big comeback last weekend against Baylor. Played a little up and down, but for the most part, he did what Jalen normally do. He pulled it out. It's not his first time. He's used to that. So he pulled it out, and maybe another game or two you'll probably hear the Jalen pushing the Jalen for Heisman talk a little bit harder and kind of get him up there because it's a good storyline. You know, um, Jalen, Justin Fields, and Burrows. We just right now, we we just got to focus on right now, uh, getting these guys healthy. I saw a few injured guys. Davis with a I think sprained ankle, and Ruggs with a bruised ribs. I kind of figured they had bruised ribs. Ruggs with a bruised rib. DJ Dale, I ain't heard much on him, but you know, there's a lot of youth on this team. It's going to give a lot of these young guys opportunity to get practice reps. Is what's needed, and game time rep is what's needed. And it's just going to take some time for this Alabama defense. I don't think it's going to be, you know, back up to par until maybe next year. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just think they're going to have to do enough to win the doggone national championship. They're not going to be perfect. They're not going to stop everybody to play because down the road they fixing to face some talented football team. So they're not going to be able to shut these guys down like we used to seeing in Alabama football. And even though when we've had the best defenses, we've gave up a lot of points. It's just something about the Alabama defense and something about giving up points, and it's something about playing big time college football, on the big stage when needed. So you just never know. I don't think this defense here this year is cut out to kind of get us where we want to go defensively. Like I said, I just think they're gonna have to play to a certain level, and Mac Jones is gonna have to feed off of that. They're gonna have to feed off of Mac Jones, but it's gonna take them guys, playing to a certain level and getting up there and trusting in each other. But the biggest key right now with Alabama is just health. We got to get back healthy. We lost a lot in the fall camp. We've lost a lot during the season, and we kind of everybody else is getting the credit right now, and credit is due deserve, because these guys pretty much hadn't suffered. Everybody suffered injuries now, everybody, but a lot of these guys had suffered the injuries Alabama has suffered over the last, whew, man, I can say a couple of years. It's just been about 2 or 3 year stretch where we just lost a lot of guys to injuries, talent wise. I mean, starters, um, backup guys. But we've been able to kind of just keep going with it though. But if it's cost us a lot over the years. And I know Rich was kind of trying to go on that narrative with me last night about uh, draft people going leaving early, coaching decisions. For the most part, like I said, you just gonna have to deal with that at Alabama. Alabama is just a football factory, as you say. Your national championships and all your awards and accolades just come with it. But for the most part, Alabama is just a national championship. We send them to the NFL, and it's a business thing now. And we kind of depleted. We finally after what 13 years, we depleted. We get no call here. Let's see who we got. How you doing today? Can I hear you? Hello?
Jerome,
Hey, how you doing?
doing good.
You're going in and out on me, my man. How you doing today? Bad connection sound like.
I tell you, does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm having a bad connection. I can hear you a little bit better now. How you doing? Well, I thought I could hear you. You going in and out. Give me a call back though when you can get a better connection though. But like we were saying, Alabama defense, over the last couple of years, it's taken a major hit, and surprisingly, the offense side of the ball hadn't uh, fell off like it had. Actually, them pretty much picked up momentum, and that's just a testimony to the recruiting on that side of the ball. The offensive skill guys, especially the receiving core, the running backs over the years, and now seem like the quarterback position is going to be a major player in this role in this Alabama run now. With the guys on the roster, Bryce Young coming in, and I think you got the kid out of North Carolina that's committed, the Mays kid or the Maiden kid. Let me see this. Maybe let's see if this. Let me get this over. Hey, how you doing today? Hello. You're going in and out, my man. Bad connection. You're going in and out. I can't hear you. So if you're listening, for whatever reason, I can't hear you. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to say hello. Give me a call back. But I think the biggest conversation, over the last few days and a few weeks has just really been the college football playoff. That's really what everybody is focused on. The season is boiling down, and people pretty much know where they're going, and they know who they're playing, and everybody's pretty much reserved to where they're going to end up being. Except for a couple of teams right now: Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Utah. Those are the kind of the 4 teams that's vying for that last spot in the college football playoff. I think LSU pretty much cemented I think they're in no matter what, a loss, even with a loss. I think Ohio State could possibly be in even with a loss. I don't know about Clemson. I think Clemson could possibly be out of it. Hello? Hey, how you doing? Oh, that's 3 tries, my man. I can't hear you. You're muted for whatever reason. I keep trying though, my man. For whatever reason, I can't hear you on your end. But Georgia, Utah, and Bama and Oregon is the 4 teams that's vying for that 4th spot. And that 4th spot is gonna be a battle right now. We can call it what it's gonna be a battle. Alabama needs show style points. They need a lot of they need to go out in every game and just pretty much, prove that they're one of the 4 best teams in the country. They don't need to go out and play around, because if they stumble for whatever reason, it's just gonna be, it's gonna be hard to get over, because right now they're looking for a reason to kind of move Alabama to the side and and let an Oregon or a Utah, let one of those programs in. But I don't know if that'll be a good decision. I think that'll be a decision based on just winning the conference. I just don't think Utah and Oregon are national championship caliber football teams. I don't think neither one of those guys could actually get in a doggone 14 playoff. And I don't think those guys can win a 14 playoff. That's just my opinion, though. I don't think Oregon can beat Clemson. I don't think they can beat Ohio State. I don't think they can beat LSU, and the vice versa for Utah. I don't think Utah could beat those programs. I just think LSU right now is too strong for them, and I think the top 3 teams too strong for them. But I think Bama too strong for. I really don't think they can beat right now as it play. I don't think they can beat neither of the top 5 teams in the college football right now, Oregon or Utah. I just don't. But hey, they done played a lot of cupcakes to me at the Pac-12. The Pac-12 conference just don't add up, top to bottom to the SEC. It don't add up to the Big Ten, and it don't add up to the Pac-12, the Big 12. It's just a conference right now that's until USC can kind of get it back going and can get on par and start winning some football games and challenging for the college football playoff again. The Pac-12 is not going to get any respect. Oregon don't carry enough weight. They haven't done anything. Utah is not going to be able to do it. It's going to take USC to kind of get the Pac-12 back where they're going. I know it's been a lot of talk about Urban Meyer coming out there. Hey, Urban Meyer's a good coach. I can't take that away from him. It's possible he can go out there and build a football program. If he get out there and get a coaching job, wherever he lands, he's going to have a national championship caliber football team in a matter of, a year or two. It is what it is. We can kind of sit back and take shots at him, and for whatever reason, we have our fun with him. We have our fun with everybody when it comes to SEC and college football. But if Urban Meyer get out to USC and kind of get out there and get the recruiting kind of straightened out, Urban Meyer he'll be a main player in the college football playoff. Every year he will be a team. He will have a team vying for the top 4 because he did it at Florida, he did it at Utah, he did it at Ohio State, and he'll do it if he land at USC. There's no need of even if he land out there and I think Alabama kick off the season with them next year. In Dallas or Atlanta, one of the two, but they play Utah. Even if he get out there, before Bama play him and can kind of coach that team up a little bit, that'll be a good football team because them guys they'll know pretty much how to play football. They'll play a physical brand of football. They're gonna have talent. They got enough talent, to create issues for Alabama. I don't know if he can beat them, but he can create issues for them. So Urban Meyer, there's been a lot of talk for him getting back in the league, and if he can get back in the league and coaching and can get to USC and kind of get that program turned around, that'll help the Pac-12. But right now, Oregon and Utah, those programs they can't do it. They're not going to do it. What's up, Chris? I see Chris and Kelly, Darlene. Appreciate y'all. Now, Oregon and Utah can't do it. It's going to take Utah, USC, and it's going to take a big time coach to get it there. USC ready to get back to the playoffs. I think the last absence was right after Bush. What was it? 02, 03? I can't really remember, but USC has been, they really not have been a player in the playoffs in the last maybe 10, 12 years. So, but hey, they're capable. You got a lot of programs around here in college football: USC, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Michigan. You got a handful of programs that it's all about if they want it. You can win championships at all those programs. It's gonna take just the coaching and the recruiting, and I know that's a big sale, but it can be done. I'm telling you, it can be done. You got coaches out here, man. It's about spending the money right now. If you spend the money, you get the wins, you get to the playoffs, you get to the championships, and that's why you can separate the Clemsons and Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, Georgia. They spending the money in the programs, and it's going to take certain programs to kind of spend the money and go after the right, coaches. If they had the right coaches, go after the right coordinators, because you got to sell something to these athletes right now. Because see, these athletes trying to play on the big stage, they're trying to win championships, and they're trying to get to the NFL right now. So, and it's just going to take, a competitive doggone program right now, to kind of, like I say, shake up the playoffs. It's going to take somebody outside of the top six programs. I don't think nobody in the top six between 6 through 10 is going to be able to shake it up. Even be honest with you, Penn State, Oklahoma, your best shot, Minnesota. I don't think none of those programs can, become player. It's possibly going to take either somebody right outside the top 10, maybe a top 15 program that can kind of get it together, talent wise, just a few pieces away that kind of can get up there and become a player like a Tennessee, like I said, like a Texas. I don't know what Texas problem is. I would have thought they kind of would have had it figured out right now, but Texas just can't get past Oklahoma, and they can't win the big games, and it's kind of killing Texas, and it's killing them in recruiting, especially with Alabama and Clemson and LSU right now doing so good. They're having a hard time, getting back on path. Ever since Alabama did what they did to them in the national championship game, really had nothing been the same with Texas. They love to preach if Colt McCoy would have played. Well, that's a big if. I'm not worried about no ifs right now. And Texas right now is just one of those programs that sits outside the top 10, and that's, like I said, that's capable of probably being a consistent player in the national championship picture. But these programs, for whatever reason, if it's the offensive coordinator, the schemes, the coaches, they can't seem to get over the hump. I think Tennessee might be in good shape with Pruitt if they can just kind of sit back and hold surge. Georgia's in good shape. I think Texas A&M is in good shape. They just need better quarterback play, and Florida is possibly in good shape. They need better quarterback play. Auburn, better quarterback play. So, college football down the road is going to become a very interesting doggone. It's going to become very tough for the Clemsons and the Alabamas and the LSUs and all these programs to win championships, because, you're going to have, teams that's capable of beating you. It's just all about, like I said, if they can get it together, and right now it's a big separation in college football when it comes to the LSUs, the Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia. It's a big separation, after Team 5. Right now we're just filling up polls with numbers, to give teams credit and put them in there. But it's a big separation in college football from Team 5 on down. Like I said, I don't think the the Oregons and the Utahs, the Penn States, the Oklahomas, the Minnesotas, I don't think none of those teams can win a national championship. No, none of them. I think we can keep, trying to sell the college football world as these programs are giant slayers and need the opportunity and give them a shot. Give them a shot. Okay, what they gonna do? What they gonna do? We done heard this. We've been listening to this same old scenario now. I know for the last since TCU and Boise State and UCF and all these programs, and kind of played consistent football, but never really got the opportunity, to compete for a national championship or even play for one. A lot of these programs, they just didn't have enough pull or wasn't high enough in the polls, and then they were facing off against the Giants, and it's hard to to kick a big time Division I school who pretty much done it over the years out of the way versus somebody who's just called lightning in a bottle. I don't know. I don't buy it. Like I said, I don't see outside of the top 5. I don't see nobody from 6-10 winning the championship. Outside of 6-10, you probably can look at 11-15, possibly can come in and win a national championship, But right now, it's not going to do it this year. It's going to take time, but those are the better teams and better equipped, to do it outside of the Oregons and the rest of those programs. Those programs right now just reaping the benefits because these other teams can't get it together. Other teams can't seem to figure out how to do it. So, hey, you got to put somebody up there. You got to put somebody in there. You got to get somebody, credit. You got to get these teams that really is not top 10 caliber teams. You got to put them up there because the true top 10 caliber teams right now is having so many issues. They can't seem to kind of get it going. And it's just amazing that they talk so much when it comes to Alabama, talk so much about Alabama. Alabama's been one of those programs over the years has pretty much held surge. They've always been consistently a top 14 from the BCS all the way up into the playoffs. Alabama's been one of those programs, one of those teams that's been sitting right in the middle. We're gonna be a team that's gonna be a team to be reckoned with up until Coach Saban decided to leave. Even with Coach Saban leave, and I'm looking ahead, I'm just talking ahead. Even with Coach Saban leave, I just think it's enough nucleus, it's enough talent. Alabama's rocking and rolling right now. I think they can, with the right coach, Alabama can continue to, win championships or compete for championships. It's all about the right coach. And, when the right coach, when the time comes for Coach Saban to step down, it's all about the right coach, And I tell you, I know who my coach is, who I wouldn't mind getting in Tuscaloosa. I'm not going to bring that up right now, but, it's just gonna be one next couple of weeks where it's gonna be I guess a beauty pageant for the 14s that's vying for the playoffs. Like I said, Penn State. I don't think Penn State can get in now. I don't think, like I said, I don't think Minnesota, that'll mess up their chance. Utah, Ohio State. The best team possibly that can possibly get in there would be Oklahoma. Oklahoma will be the only team I think that's capable with Jalen, making some noise and, can possibly kind of threaten Alabama, beating Baylor may help them a little bit. I don't know, but, hey, it's a top 10 win or close to a top 10 win. And, the media they love Jalen right now. They love Oklahoma. So, hey, I wouldn't be surprised what they do, down the road, especially if they keep winning, and especially it's got a lot to do with how Mac Jones look on the road against Auburn. Alabama has to go into Auburn, and I mean they have to go into Auburn and kind of play a pretty solid football game. They can't go in and play a sloppy football game and expect the committee, to kind of let them slide in the playoffs. They got to go down on the plains and they got to go down there and handle business, And like I said, it's going to take this team, as a whole. The offense can't do it by itself. The defense is going to really have to step it up and play some good, solid football. The defense is going to have to come in and, the Terrell Lewis and Jennings and DJ Dale and these guys, Mathis and Baltimore, these guys are going to kind of have to kind of grow up a little bit now. And, I know a lot of inexperience and a lot of true freshmen, as we said early in the season, but okay, we're at the 10th game now, and these guys, the game should be slowing down a little bit more for these guys now. The game should be slowing down some, and these guys should be able to come out there now and kind of read some defenses, make some plays, play fast, not thinking on the run and being able to, to kind of be in the right position out there on the field, because, from here on out, outside of Western Carolina, you're going to have to play championship caliber football to kind of, to win a national championship. You're going to have to play national. You're going to have to kind of go to Auburn and kind of show the committee that you're a top 4 team. And, Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is capable of doing it, and a lot of people, fans is kind of split on him, I'm not, I think Mac Jones is capable of doing it. I just knew early in the season, he just needed reps and he needs a lot of reps, especially when it comes to the LSUs and the Clemson and, Ohio State. He gonna need to be his timing down with the receivers. He gonna have to, get the ball out quick, quick thinking, and he's gonna have to be able to hit Nigel in the backfield. He gonna have to, kind of help this team kind of get over the hump. Nigel gonna have to step his game up. Receivers gonna have to get help to step their game up, and but this team is still capable of doing it. I know a lot of people is kind of falling out the Bama bandwagon this week and this year now since Tua down, but hey, I'm not going to fall off the bandwagon. Hey, we still capable of winning the national championship. Bama still capable of winning a national championship. We just kind of, like I said, we gotta, get behind Mac Jones and open up the playbook. And I think Shark is gonna open up the playbook. I would hope he would. I would hope he would. We need Shark to go out and trust in him and let him get the ball to these guys out here in the open. Let Smith and Water and Judy and Ruggs let these guys make some plays and hope the offensive line can kind of open up some holes for Najee. Najee, if Najee can finish out the season, with 150 yards rushing, maybe 150 yard rushing and maybe 75 yards pass on the game, or maybe 55 to 75 yard pass in the game, I think we can, be right there in the thick of things. He has to have some big time games these next four games if we possibly get to that playoffs. He needs to have some big time football games. If he can have some big time football games, and good rushing, we can need Brian Robinson to kind of carry his way too, and we can get the running game to kind of step it up a little bit and and produce some big runs and like I said, have 200 and 250 yard rushing total between the two of them. I think we can kind of be right there in the playoffs and the final semifinals or national championship picture. But it's gonna take it's gonna take the running game to step it up, and it's gonna take the defense, like I said, to kind of open up, and the defense is gonna have to make plays. The issue with the defense is these guys all year long just youth. Youth has been the youth has really killed us all year long. And we just hadn't been able to kind of solve that problem, because when we get a couple of guys going, we lose some more guys, and these young guys, believe me, they balling now. You got to give them credit now. These guys are balling. They came in, they playing SEC type talent, and they holding their own. You can't expect for them to go out there and kind of, you can't expect for them to go out there and just, instantly pick up and be the best at their position, even though they at Alabama. You got to give these guys credit. They still facing some dominant talent that's able to kind of move the ball on them, make plays on them. But hey, they'll be better down the road. Right now they just learning on the fly. We all learn. There's a lot of them learning on the fly right now in the SEC. Nationally, you got all your big time teams that's vying for championship is dealing with it. We just dealing with it a little bit more than the average right now. We trying our best, to kind of hold certain finish the season, but hey man, we losing them. I mean, we losing. Wow. It's amazing, man, how we just over the years, and just to think about it, it's amazing how we just lost so much talent over the years, and we still sit in a position where we can win championships. We lost talent, like I said, in the recruiting, miss guys transferred, just guys got up out of there for whatever reason, graduation, seniors. We've lost a lot of talent over the years when it comes to Alabama, but at the same time, we still been able to kind of just sit there and be right in the middle, either at the top or almost at the top. And that's just a testimony to the recruiting, testimony to the coaching, testimony to all the guys, and out there working hard, and like I said, even with the guys we lost, these guys still, with the talent out there, they spread it out across college football. University of Alabama still sits at the top, one of the four best teams. I can see a lot of y'all in the chat room. I appreciate it. I see Carl. What's up, Carl? I see Chris, Kelly, Joe, Darlene, all y'all in the chat room. Just having fun, trying to get a little reaction from the polls tonight. Probably a lot of fans picking at the Alabama fans, a lot of haters, a lot of Alabama fans panicking. But it's kind of where I figured we'll follow. I didn't expect anything to change with Tua. I didn't expect Georgia to slide. Whatever teams failed. I think I see Auburn failed a little bit, but for the most part, it is what it is when it comes to these polls for the next couple of weeks. It's a good conversation piece. You're really not going to find out really. Get a clarification really who's going to be in your Final Four until after the conference championship games are over with, and we can determine the one between the Georgia and LSU. Until then, Alabama is not going to jump Georgia no time soon unless Georgia suffers another loss. I can't see Georgia losing into the SEC championship game. So, for the most part, it's just going to be conversation piece for the next couple of weeks. You know, who do we think in? Let the experts, do they talking and who they prediction and who they think should be in. But for the most part, that's what it's gonna be. It's always gonna be there. Right now, Alabama is not just in the predicament, to dictate anything. Our season is pretty much done outside of Auburn in a couple of weeks, and like I said, all we got to do is kind of go in and handle business and win that football game conventionally. We can win that game conventionally. Then hey, we got something to prove. Maybe the committee they always seem like they've been kind of favorable to Alabama over these last few weeks and over the last couple of years. We've been there since day one, so they know. Until anything changes, we're one of the 4 best teams in the country. So they pretty much know what they get when they get with Alabama. You're gonna get a program that's gonna bring fans, gonna travel. The news, the experts, they all got something to say. It's gonna be a big time game. So they pretty much know that. I don't know if they know that, if they're gonna get that with the Utah, with the Oregon. I can see those programs being excited to be in the playoffs now, but I just don't think that. I don't think the hype would be behind the Utahs and the Oregon like it would be behind the Bama, the Georgias. My opinion, anything can change, but that's just what I think, and right now the biggest thing is I'm more worried about is just Alabama kind of getting healthy and getting these guys out here, just getting them, all kind of healed up. You got a lot of little nicks and injuries, we need to get these guys good and healthy for this stretch run. Young, Baltimore, get these guys more reps out there. We need to get we need to get the linebackers out, Shane Lee, Harris, get these guys more reps. I can't wait till this weekend really to see how these guys play, keep them motivated. They go out there, handle business, gone. Even though we know what they're supposed to do when it comes to Western Carolina now. Let's call it for what it is. That game should be out of hand probably by the first quarter, second quarter. Really should be out of hand. You should have, hey, the starters out of there. I don't care about no Mac Jones needing the reps. We need Mac Jones out of there. Anything could happen. We got Auburn down the road. Get Talia, get these other little young guys, get these guys the reps, because this team gonna need it next year. They're gonna absolutely need it next year. They're gonna be super young next year. They're gonna have a lot of young guys all across the board on the offensive side of the ball and the defense side of the ball next year. So these guys need the reps this year. They need to play. But hey, I'm not making $8 million a year. I'm just sitting here having fun talking football with y'all. So hey, what can I say for the most part, But hey, right now, Alabama just got to deal with it. They've dealt with it over the years. They've dealt with it kind of more than anybody else and dealt with it. We've kind of kept going. We've dealt with the injuries. We've dealt with the coaching. We've dealt with what else? We've dealt with guys leaving for whatever reason. But like I say, we continue to be a top 4 team in the country. I'm excited about it. A lot of young guys and the talent going to get a lot better, down the road. It's just going to take time. We just actually had to reload. We had to restock the pile and get these young guys back out there and get them all ready to play. It's really going to take next year recruiting class coming in too to kind of help this roster out. This roster is it's super talented, super young, but I just think you need an upgrade in a few a few spots out there. I think you need an upgrade in them. I think you need an upgrade in some spots in the secondary and linebacker. Pretty much need some competition in there. That we need. We need some competition in there. And that creates better talent right there, better players. So we need to get that competition going again. And with these 2 recruiting classes coming in, you're gonna get that recruiting, you're gonna get that competition going again. And that's what we need, Bama right now, we just over the NFL is reaping the benefit from, what's Bama them really kind of put together over the last 12 years, Right now at Alabama, I think like I was telling them last night at Alabama, it's just gonna be it's a farm league. You come in and in 3 years you can kind of get up out of Alabama. You can go make that money. That's what they're doing at Alabama. Come back and get your diploma later. Hey, can't question these guys. You can't knock it, man. It's a business. It's a business. These guys go and get their money. They want to go out and take care of their families for whatever reason. need be. They just want to make a change for them. They go and get this money now, and and Alabama's kind of suffering right now more than anybody else right now. Clemson hadn't really had to deal with it yet, and LSU, dealt with it to a certain extent, but not as bad as Alabama. Who else? Nobody else right now. Ohio State deals with it to a certain extent, but not as bad as Alabama right now. NFL guys, they tend to give Alabama guys a shot in the NFL, and it's up to them guys when they get to the NFL. Can they kind of, stick in the league? Can you get in the league and find you a niche? You got some guys, especially the running backs right now in Alabama in the NFL. They doing pretty good. All of them really. Especially Jacobs. I wasn't surprised. I kind of figured he would do good, but right now he's surprising me in the NFL. Jacobs playing some pretty good football. Jacobs, Ingram, Henry, all them guys, man, especially receiving. You can go on and on with the receiving core. But, that's just a testimony to the guys that came out of Alabama, the talent that came out of Alabama that's flooding the NFL right now. And, we just got to reload, man. And it happens. It's taken, 13 years for us really to kind of feel the effects of it. And right now we're feeling the effects of it, We trying to get it together, and it's taking a little bit. It's going to take some time. Alabama will get it there. The recruiting class is coming in, the talent coming in. Got some nice young pieces coming in the linebacker core, which I like. I like the guys coming in with the linebacker core, the defensive line talent coming in. You kind of getting everybody kind of stockpile, getting all your positions stockpile back up. And we need that right now. We taking a big hit on the defense side of the ball. I tell you, we've taken a big hit on the defense side of the ball in the last couple of years in recruiting. And NFL just, man, it really done caused a lot of issues down there, and and it's fell off pretty much to the Alabama standards. I'm not gonna go and say it fell off the map and we just got a bad defense, because we don't. We actually have pretty good defense. Stats kind of speak for itself, but we're just not playing up to that Alabama level right now. And until we get it back up to the Alabama level, you're gonna see the critics and the Alabama fans, taking shots and and kind of not really, on board with what's going on with Golden and with the defense right now. But hey, like I said, the man really don't have a fair shake at it. He don't have the talent right now what he was expected to be coaching. Even though I know he's at Alabama, but it's just not a fair shake. It's gonna take a few years for him to kind of show what he can do. But I don't know if Coach Saban, or I don't know if it'll last a few years. Hey, Alabama fans, we so impatient, man. Wow. It don't really, with us, we kind of want instant gratification. We can't wait on the final results. We want it instantly. And, right now, Golden and his defense is not producing, and a lot of fans are just, wow, they just done turned, man, they just flipped out over the fact that, this defense is just not playing up to par, and you just got a lot of youth back there, man, and teams right now, you trying to win, compete against the national championship. They're not going through this issue, They're not. They're playing good, solid ball. They kind of on cruise control right now. We trying to figure out what to do and how to get everybody patched up to, to make that final run. But those programs, they're just cruising. They're cruising. They're not really worried. They having, no problems. Excuse me, no problems at all. These programs, I'm telling you, Clemson, these young guys, they replaced a lot of defensive guys last year on the defensive line, but these guys, they playing good, solid football. Even though they in the ACC, I don't care about that. They playing good, solid football in the ACC. They just playing, I know the North Carolina game is a black mark on them, but hey, Alabama had those type of games too. Like I said before, we had those type of games, but hey, Clemson is a solid football team. Clemson is a solid football team. They're not going anywhere. Clemson is not going anywhere no time soon. LSU them, they done finally got up to the table. They done bought them. They done pretty much bought them a seat at the table. LSU is going to be a team and a program that finally, with this identity playing, that they're going to be a program that's going to be capable of winning the national championship. They're gonna be capable of winning one every year if they keep playing to this level. Alabama, they smart will get ready to deal with it. They're not going anywhere. You're not gonna run them down the field on them no more, especially if they're gonna bring this to the table. It's gonna be a fair fight right now. It wasn't a fair fight with LSU and Alabama over the last 5 or 6 years. Alabama pretty much had a not an easy win, but they had all they had to do was go out there and pretty much stop the pro style, stop the stubbornness. That's all they had to deal with. Stop the run, and LSU couldn't beat them. But it changed this year. It changed this year, and it caught up with us. And hey, what can we say? It happened. I'm looking forward to the next year, the rematch, and I'm still saying the rematch in the playoffs. I still say Alabama LSU is going to play for the national championship. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy, but hey, I'm still going to say that. I think those two teams right there is going to end up being the two teams that are playing for a national championship. And wow, Alabama with LSU, that's going to be a tall task, I tell you, once again with Mac Jones. Right now, LSU is on a mission. LSU is playing, wow. LSU is playing good football. They on a mission. And LSU, I tell you, LSU is going if Alabama don't get on, and that's my team. If Alabama don't win the national championship, I can't see anybody beating LSU. I can't see anybody beating LSU right now, man. If LSU can't, if Alabama don't win it, I can't see anybody, including Clemson. I just think Clemson might not be. It'll be a good football game now between Clemson and LSU. Don't get me wrong. Be a good football game. But I think LSU, man, wow. The running game, the receivers, the quarterback play, defense, coaching, everything is just kind of clicking for them right now. Everything is clicking for them right now. So, and I don't see nobody right now able to kind of, I don't see nobody right now able to derail that right now. Nobody. They trying to come up with, like I say, so many different scenarios where, hey, you can say this program and this program can do it, but going back to the polls, the college polls tonight, playoff polls tonight, Georgia is not going anywhere no time soon with Kirby. I just know Georgia right now. If I had to choose, like I said, in the playoffs or in the SEC championship game, I just don't see Georgia being able to keep pace going with LSU in the SEC championship game. I don't see that happening. I don't think Georgia has enough talent. We talked about it all fall. We just conversation back and forth on Twitter and a few talks on the radio. But receiving course really hurt Georgia this year. It hurt Georgia this year. They can't really, open up the offense. They're just having a lot of issues moving the ball, and just got to resort really to the running game. It's really the running game or it's nothing with Georgia right now. And you shut down the running game, you stand a pretty good chance of beating them. And nobody hadn't been able to do it but South Carolina for whatever reason. But I tell you, LSU stand a good chance to do it. I think LSU got the talent to do it. I think LSU will do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for LSU. I'm trying to get Bama back in there. So I'm pulling for LSU, But I still say LSU in the SEC championship game will beat Georgia possibly pretty good, too. I don't even think it'll be a close football game. I don't, I think it'll end up being probably 17, 20 points, kind of sort of like it was getting out of hand with Alabama, but Alabama kind of kept it respectable. I think that's what'll happen in Georgia and LSU. I think, but Georgia will run away with. LSU will run away with it because Georgia wouldn't be able to keep pace with them scoring wise. So that's kind of what we'll be looking at right there in the SEC championship, and I can't wait for it to get here and get out the way so we can kind of see what the Final Four going to look like. Right now, Alabama's on the outside looking in. I still say in the perfect spot at number 5, and I'm looking forward to them. Sitting right here, I'm glad they're not at number doggone 3, 4. Georgia, kind of creep up and win, or some of these other programs creep up and win, knock them out. So Alabama right now is in a good spot. Like I say, they just can't lose any more football games. They can't play kind of sloppy no more. They kind of still have to not gonna play good football, and they still got to show the committee that hey, they one of the 4 best teams, and I think the committee still understand right now Alabama's a good football team even without Tua. They know Mac Jones is gonna be able to do it, and kind of right now the thing you can kind of look at is the Arkansas. You're not gonna be. I'm not gonna put Arkansas up against what Auburn, what possibly Ohio State and Clemson and LSU gonna bring to the table, but you know he looked pretty good throwing the ball out there here there, and like I said, anything can possibly happen in a one game scenario in a playoff, and but it's gonna take the defense. It's gonna take the defense, like I'm telling you, it's gonna take the defensive line, the defensive linebackers, it's gonna take the secondary, it's gonna take the whole defense to play good football to win a national championship, and like I said, it's been kind of up and down and kind of mediocre playing football all year long, but they're gonna have to play to another level. These guys capable of doing it, they got enough talent, I don't know if they're gonna be able to come together and kind of do it, all at one time in the next couple of weeks, but it's gonna be needed. It's gonna be needed to win a championship. I think Alabama, has to, get these guys, like I said, healthy again, get the guys back playing good, solid football because, hey, Western Carolina is it. After Western Carolina, it's pretty much what you want out of it. If you want a national championship out of it, you're playing national championship caliber football from here on out if you're Alabama. Because, see, that one mistake now is going to cost you. That one mistake going to send you home to the Sugar Bowl wherever you don't want to be. So we already know what we're going to get. Anything outside of the playoffs, we already know what we're going to get when we're Alabama. We already know. We just got to kind of, like I said, get Mac Jones up to par and get these guys, get them to believe they can win. I don't know if that LSU game, Coach Saban, I think I heard him say they was kind of too hyped up for the LSU game, and but I can probably see that with the youth and the young guys, and the chemistry wasn't together. These guys were just amped up to go play a football game, really not knowing what was at stake. Possibly, I don't know why, but seemed like that's what happened. But hey, they got to understand from here on out, though, especially with Auburn on the road, and like I said, possibly Ohio State, possibly Clemson, possibly LSU. One of those 4 teams after that, wow, hey, they got to play football, man. And, and like I said, Terrell Lewis kind of came along, man, started playing good football, but he kind of, last couple of games, I didn't really see a lot out of him or hear a lot out of him. But, hey, we're going to need him to play championship caliber football. We're going to need him to play top 10 lottery pick type football. We're going to need him. We're going to need Jennings. We're going to need Raekwon to do it. And right now, Raekwon really hadn't really, he just hadn't really done much this year to me, like I said, I didn't expect for him to have a Q type year or Deron Payne or, Marcel Darius type year, but I kind of thought he was going to leave his mark at Alabama. I thought he was going to kind of bring something to the table a little different and, become a threat. Because if he would have kind of played a little bit different football this year and, if he could have got double team in a lot of games, man, that would have helped that defense out a lot this year, man. The double teams on him, and Lewis, Raekwon kind of, if he would have stepped this game up just a tad bit more, he possibly kind of would have kind of helped this team it really needs him to kind of step up and be a dominant defensive lineman in the next couple of games, man. But I don't know how healthy he gonna be with the high ankle sprain though, and Dale, I don't know if Dale gonna be able to play right now. I don't know if we're gonna have to depend on a lot of young guys, and might have to depend on a lot of young guys when we go to Auburn, but wow, that's gonna be an awful lot to ask of with all the youth going to Auburn on the defense side of the ball, even with Mac Jones, crowd noise. We knowing what Auburn gonna try to do, crowd, offensive scheme. Auburn, I'm not really worried about it, but defense, they're gonna bring it to the game. Right to they're gonna bring a good defensive game plan. So, man, we the defense the defense here on out, they just gonna have to become so they're gonna have to come a unit to where no missed tackles, no penalties, which have killed us over the year, the last couple of games, all year long, really. Like even last year, the penalties killed us, you know. But you know, if the defense can counter for whatever reason, I keep harping on the defense, man. But the offense is still capable of winning the national championship. The offense is still capable of doing it. It's just the defense. I don't know if the defense can do it. You know, like I said, the defense can possibly do it down the road if they can kind of get it together. I hope so. But for the most part, you know, I don't know if this defense is able to kind of hold surge with the rest of these guys, man. You know, they haven't really showed it all year long. You know, they've showed a little bit here and there, but winning a national championship right now, you know, I'm just a realist when it comes to Alabama fans. It's just, man, it's going to be a tall task to ask for this team to win one now. You know, like I said, I'm pulling for them and I'm with them. I'm a diehard Alabama fan, but, you know, until this defense kind of show me that they're going to be able to play ball and play championship caliber football, it's just going to be hard to win a championship. You know, that's going to leave a lot on the offense to do, and I don't think the offense can do it, you know, not without the defense bringing pulling their load. I just don't think it's going to happen. So, but, you know, hey, anything can happen, like I said, and, you know, Alabama been done it before. We have done it over the years when they said we couldn't do it and thought we was going to do it some years and didn't get it done. So, you know, I don't know what to think when it comes to Alabama football. You know, over the years, like I said, anything has happened. As long as we done got to the game, pretty much, hey, we've played good football. Whether we won or lost, we done played good football. So, you know, hey, we'll know. We'll figure it out soon. You know, we got plenty of time to get it together. You know, like I said, you know, Western Carolina should be a kind of more or less of a practice game this week. You know, go out there and take care of business in Western Carolina and, you know, and turn all your attention to Auburn, because I guarantee you all their attention right now is turned to Alabama. Auburn definitely has turned to Alabama. So, but hey, like I said, I just wanted to talk to y'all for a little while about the college football playoffs and, you know, rather do this than to do it on Twitter, man. But for the most part, hey, I enjoy coming on here and spending a little time with y'all. I got out of hand last night talking about 2 hours, me and Rich going back and forth with Larry from Shelby. Enjoyed old Larry. But hey, I'll probably be back Thursday night, take them for a few phone calls and talk a little football with y'all. Hey, I appreciate it tonight and appreciate having a little fun with y'all tonight. I tell y'all, looking forward to talking to y'all Thursday. And like I said, hey, Bama gonna be all right. You know, we just gotta keep going. We gotta stay focused, and you know, Bama defense is gonna turn out to be fine. You know, I'm gonna believe in the defense. We have issues all year long, but a lot of it had to do with youth and everything else. But hey, I'm gonna ride with my team. You know, I think Coach Saban gonna be able to, you know, finish strong. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what Mac Jones can do on the road next week when it comes to Auburn. So for the most part, you know, I think we just get behind Mac Jones and kind of understand that Alabama football is not going anywhere. You know, we just got to deal with the ups and downs right now and the injury too. And like I said, we'll get in the playoffs. You know, this Alabama football, I'm not worried about it. Just enjoying the conversation and going back and forth at Twitter with y'all and having fun with y'all. But for the most part, I'm not worried about it. I enjoy talking smack and having fun with it. But hey, when it all turns out and all ends up, Alabama will be in the playoffs and we'll be doing what Alabama do. Hey, either winning championships or competing for championships. Hey, so hey, I appreciate y'all tonight, man. And like I said, I'll probably see y'all Thursday night and Roll Tide.